I decided to make this video because I am a highly sensitive empath. When I say highly sensitive, I'm overtly highly sensitive, old soul. That I'm really over this human existence because to me, it's a lot of inferior souls on the planet Earth that don't know how to astral travel, that don't know anything about quantum physics and metaphysics to the grasp of technology in the galactic era, And to be on Earth, the whole bunch of people that's always like, oh, I'm human, and energy vampires taking my energy, draining my energy. It's like so annoying. But I'm making this video because I know the last two posts I probably offended a lot of people, and I just wanted to clarify that I was ranting because I see the world from a galactic point of view. Due to my soul having experiences in a lot of planets, not just Earth, because Earth isn't the only planet. And all souls get to have human top avatar, like the movie Avatar. We all get to have those experiences. And as a PAO Galactic detective, I have been to a lot of planets, that like the roach planet, the monkey planet, the troll planet, the goblin planet, the gremlin planet, predator planet, the reptilian planet, and those type of people where you say the culture vultures, the black culture, that's the same as all those planets. All those aliens act black. Like how ghetto hood blacks act on Earth. That's how they act on those planets. And being a PAO Galactic detective, I used to have to go and arrest those aliens. And so, being a soul that when I go to sleep, like, you guys get to go to sleep. My soul is actually in the galaxy shooting the shit out of those type of dark souls in those planets. So the reason I didn't choose to be a police officer this life was because that wasn't my destiny. But in each life I've ever lived, I was a police officer. And most police officers are PAO Galactic Federation detectives and officers. And what those branches come from is in their past life they were once a black soul. So they know how black minds think, and then they become detectives. And the torture that their soul goes through to cleanse all that blackness from their soul is detrimental. So a lot of black people are always like, oh, white police officers basically profiling. I want to enlighten you in the spiritual realm of things, and no, they're not. When an officer, the reason officers get away with murder is because their souls are PAO Galactic officers. And the PAO Galactic signed a treaty with the U.S. government. You could Google or research, or if you're a hacker, you could find this out, that there's a PAO Galactic treaty that any officer that's a PAO cannot get jail time because it's going to thwart their mission. So when in my past lives, I'm going to say, like in my past lives, if I got a download, like while I was asleep, I got a download that as above, so below. Hear me out. If I got a download of, say for instance, one of the Dark Lord's creatures, because all black creatures are considered the Dark Lord's creature in the galaxy, and they all act black because the Dark Lord is black. Like pretty much the hoodest nigga you can find, just that's how the Dark Lord acts. And the Light Lord is like the most pleasant, humble, peaceful, fairy, whimsical human you can find. That's the Light Lord. And so as a PA officer, when you're a police officer, you get downloads. And so I feel that because they're not conscious, they're not, They are, but they're not. The PAO officer aspect within them is conscious of what they're doing, but their human ego, because this is an ego, isn't conscious of their actions. So if they get a download to say, hey, you go to location grid 596, they get the numbers of the grid, and then I need you to kill the flesh of that person so that we can arrest them. Because due to them being stuck on Earth, we can't arrest them because their soul is down there. And that's what black souls tend to do. I don't know how many people have seen the movie Soul, and black souls like to cling on to other souls when they get to be incarnated so that they can come here. So that's just the way the spiritual world works. So if that officer gets a download, and I get the down. I've been getting downloads as a PAO Galactic Detective since 2016, and I'm pretty sure, because the way I get it, I still have to arrest people to this day. Like, even in human form, I have to walk around. If you were to go on my Golden Rising Instagram, you will see me and hear me explaining me arresting people. So, and I'm not even a police officer. So imagine if I was a police officer, that when you're a police officer, you have a different authority. Like me, I can't go and shoot because I'm not an officer. Even though I'm a PAO Galactic Detective, I cannot shoot anyone, even if it's self-defense, because I am not an actual officer of law. And when you are dealing with police officers that are unconscious, that they're PAO Galactic Detectives or lawyers or judges or whatever, and then they're put on the beat, they're not aware. When I drive around, say for instance I'm trying to find some weed, I could drive around the ghetto and like that be able to find who has weed, who has crack, who has heroin, who has whatever, just by scanning their body. I could scan people's cars and be like, oh, that person has weed in their car. So you guys are saying, oh, they're racially profiling. No, they're spiritually aware in ways that normal human beings are not, ever. They don't even get to be at these levels. So the reason I'm saying I'm not about to protest for people, because I've seen how they are on their planets, and that's exactly how they act on Earth. How the riots that they're doing, and they're tearing apart stuff and breaking into stuff, that's what they do above. If you was to ever like ask your higher self, hey, can you take me to a goblin planet? Because I want to see how they live on it. Can you take me to a gremlin planet? I want to see the goblins, the gremlins, the roaches, the monkeys, the trolls, the dark demons, like the predators, the aliens, the reptilians. Ass. And if you was to go on that planet and then drive through the ghetto, you would be like, oh, they not racially profiling. As above, so below. And so I've had to arrest a lot of creepy creatures. Creepy. Like, I didn't want to be a police officer this life because I didn't even want to have those tasks. I didn't want to have those tasks of searching for freaking aliens having human experience that have warrants up there, because that is treacherous. It's too much work. It's too much work. And when I was officers in my past life, I've dealt with shapeshifters. I've seen shapeshifters now. But you see them more when you're officer, because you're dealing with outer worldly creatures in human form. And some souls had the capacity and capabilities of warping their flesh to do what they wanted to do. So, by having that outlook spiritually, and before I didn't, I can't even lie to you and say I've always had this. Like, from the time I was 3 to the time I was 9, I had this mind frame. Then when my mom was murdered and I got my ass beat by black people, in the group home, got my ass beat by my black cousin and her retarded psychopath freaking husband that she married to adopt us for a whole year. And then I got abused from, like, I was abused like my whole life by black people. And it's not that I hate them, it's that whatever energy you get out, you give back. And so how I see it, and I take it, what if I'm not the only golden white light soul or white soul or agape love soul or light lord creation that these people are attacking? That's how I see it. Now, what if their kids have a soul like me? I know 9 times out of 10 they're treating their kids exactly how they're treating me. So, and I'm like, okay, what if their neighbor has a light soul like me? And some people are not even aware of the spiritual realm because they believe in Christianity. And I'm not Christianity, I'm just saying some people are not aware of spiritual entities being able to possess flesh. And they're not aware of, hey, when your flesh dies, your regular form is in a galaxy, probably on a spaceship flying right now. Yeah, even when you're in human form, your regular self is still working, still doing, like the movie that Rihanna was in, Voltarian or something like that, and how the spirit of this one planet went in a white boy, and then he had to help her save her planet, and then her mother took her spirit. But that's real. That's the way the spiritual and galactical world works. So I feel like the racism is not based on flesh, because white people have never, when I say never, hands down, I've only been called nigger twice in my whole entire life by 2 redheads. One was a girl and one was a boy. They both were ogres. And the reason they called me a nigger, the first time I was called a nigger, I was in middle school. And my dad always told me that if I was ever called a nigger, then my soul became black. Because my dad taught me my Egyptian inheritance. And they believed white souls were the superior souls and black souls were the inferior souls. So white supremacy actually took my ancestors' way of thinking and brought it into reality. Yet there's some black souls living in white people that get angry when they see white souls living in brown people. You hear me? Because then they realize they're really not white, they're black. So it makes them inferior. Then it makes them angry. And then the handful of white souls living in white skin, they're like, oh, it's my fellow mother, brother, sister. Oh, because that's how we respond. White souls respond with love. When we don't see the hue. We don't see, like when white souls, they don't see me as this. They see me in my true form. Because that's how we see each other. We know that we're having a human experience. But people with black souls, no matter the skin color, they're like, oh, you a nigger. Oh, you a honky. Oh, you a cracker. The reason they say that is because all their souls are black, and the only thing they can see is the color of their flesh. You hear me? So, say for instance a goblin that has brown skin, black skin, whatever, and a goblin has white skin. They do race wars against each other because of their skin. Like, oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I'm more powerful than you. Because as you can tell, as above, so below. Black planets don't have anything. They come from the most poorest conditions. When I say the poorest conditions, the poorest conditions. So due to their soul coming from the poorest conditions, their flesh, when they incarnate, is going to have the poorest conditions. Like I have aspects that come from the most richest planet through the whole galaxy. When I say the whole galaxy, the whole galaxy. There's not a planet that's richer than the planet I come from. So that's why when I was born into a millionaire mother. you know? And although she died from the time I was born to the time I was 9, I had an experience of a wealthy person. So I know how it feels because that's where my soul comes from. But I signed up to actually have a poor experience. The reason I signed up to have a poor experience is because I was going to cut off, well, actually, I already did. I cut off the funding to all the poor planets, and I told them that since they come to Earth and tear Earth up and they don't want to ascend, they have to fend for themselves. They have to make sure they have their own food, their own clothes, their own water, because the past eons, my planet has been providing for them. And so I took my opportunities and my expertise to be like, you know what, from now on, if the planet is not white or agape, I'm not financially helping them. Period. So when I carnated, I wanted to know what things do people with white souls need on earth to be able to survive. And I realized people with white souls don't have anything to survive. I've been homeless, sleeping outside. The black souls come and take my energy while I'm asleep. I've been in shelters. Black souls come by and take my energy, you know? So it's no space where a white soul can feel safe from a black soul. And white souls are to the point where they are tired of black souls even living on earth because they cannot have the happy experience on earth that they want because black souls are takers. They be like, oh, they got a better car than me, fuck them, I'ma steal it. And it's like, why can't you work hard for it? But that's the action of all black souls. So they're takers. And that's where the PAO comes in. Like, when I watch the videos, I know I'm laughing, but when I watch the videos of officers whooping ass, no matter the skin color, I laugh because that's what they do in their true form. Like, let there be a braid, because, like, in the black planets, they like to do a lot of drugs. They like to sell a lot of drugs. They create their own drugs. Like, the drugs that people have down here is nothing on the drugs that they be creating up there. So, the black man that created crack, trust me, he came from a black planet and used his spiritual knowledge of creation to make people hooked and make more money on Earth. And that's what happened. And although the president, the white man with the black soul, you know, was like, yeah, I'm going to make get my black souls, you know, happy, get them what they're used to, you know. But, you know, when they do raids, how they do raids down here is nothing. When I say it's nothing, it's like the raids down here is like somebody going like this to you. Okay. Oh, you so sweet and gentle. The raids up there, I feel sorry for any individual that has the PAO Galactics rushing in their house, because nobody's coming out alive. When I say nobody, they're not arresting them. They shooting them in their head. Bang, bop, on sight. So the way I just laugh because, like, all the people that be like, F the police, they have black souls. The reason they're saying F the police is because their souls know of the PAO Galactic. Although they pretend like they don't, they know. Like, I remember the other day, I was telling this officer, I could feel her energy. Because, no, like, it was before the riots and everything. But, like, a lot of Caucasian officers, they are weary at first when a brown person comes up. But she noticed that my energy wasn't like the other brown people she's used to. So she tilted her head like a dog. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, shout out to fellow PAOs. I said, I'd protect you with a billion white light angels on that beat. And her eyes got big. She started laughing. She said, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not an officer in a uniform, but I'm an officer in the spiritual world." And she said, she like, we have our own thing. I'm not gonna show you, but we have our own thing where our souls know each other when we see each other, so we put up that pretty much that sigil to be like showing our respect. So I think that's another reason why white officers don't harass me, because my soul is a PAO, just like them. I'm a fellow officer, but in the spiritual realm, not in this one. And the spiritual realm is actually the real reality. This is just a video game that we get to experience, you know? And so the black officers, they're not PAOs. Some of them are. I'm gonna take that back. The ugly, you know, the ugly ones that look crazy. Those, no, ugly white ones. Yeah, the ones with muscles that you'll be like, damn, my pussy's wet, and I love the officers. Let me go make them a whole full course meal so I can drop it off. Their station officers, or they mostly have souls of PAOs, because they be having fine souls in real life, anyways. You know, so as above, so below. But I'm not. My rants weren't to piss people off. It's just to make people aware, because until you know what energy feels like, you would never understand my world. And I don't like being around anyone. I don't care what color of skin if they act ghetto. No, I leave. I don't care if I'm starving. I leave, because when they're being loud, yeah, all that, that's their way of breaking your field, your energetical field, to take your energy. And I don't have time for it. I'm already sensitive. And it already takes me 4 hours to clear myself from all the energy they throw at me when I just walk to the grocery store. So I'm over it. That's why I made those posts, because I am over it. I'm over how people pretend like they don't know that Earth is just an experience. That Earth is just a video game. Like, you're protesting and tearing down the streets. I understand the Black Lives Matter movement. But through the galaxy, y'all souls don't matter. Y'all souls do not matter. Every white planet has pushed you out of existence because of how you behave. Who would want to sit there? Like, if you could feel energy just like me, right? And you go to the grocery store. And because I've been my 12-year-old aspect was spiritually raped in 2019. Yeah. Spiritually raped in 2019. My 12-year-old aspect by this monkey. He not only looked like a monkey, he was ugly as hell like a monkey. And my so-called best friend, he has a soul of a centaur, and he has a demon in another one. But he talked me in to get in a hotel room with them. And the reason he did that is because he did drugs, and the monkey supplied him with the drugs. So in return, I guess he gave my aspects away so that he could be able to not have to pay him for the drugs. And he raped my 12-year-old aspect. And when I say the disgust I feel from anyone with a black soul now is more impaired, because the experiences that I've went through from 2016 to now that woke me up, I don't really like black people around me. They act black. I don't want them around me. My soul does not feel safe with their souls around me. And for a long time, I used to battle with myself, because like when the police shot them, I would feel relief and safe. And experiences that I've had, my soul has had with black people, I kind of understand what white people are going through. And I'm only saying this because in my past life I had a black soul. I've never spiritually raped any child or anything. Yeah, I've done some horrible stuff to people's flesh, but to their soul, I have never in a million years done what people have done to my soul from the time I was born till now. And I know white people feel energy the way I do. I know they do because we have conversations about it. We'll have conversations for hours of their spiritual experiences and how they wish more black people. Actually, they wouldn't say I wish more black people. They was like, why don't you, that's what they tell me. Why don't you teach black people? Because that's the real reason white people can't stand them. Because our kids' souls won't ever be safe around them. And I believe that too. I don't allow my little high yellow pass for white because as they say, your son can pass for white. No, I don't allow him to be around hoodlums. Because when he was in foster care with a black kid, the kid used to whoop his ass. He had bruises all the time, new bruises. My son used to talk about how the boy used to tie him to his bed, and he was a black kid. Well, Jamaican black, he black. And if kids are doing that to kids, why? Like, if I was the president, I would scan every single person and I would separate the world, all the black souls in all hues over there, and all the white souls with all hues over here. And you black souls with all hues over there, if you come near the white souls in all hues, you're going to get killed. That's how it would separate. Not by, black and white, because the real black and white is the spiritual black and white. If you want to be technically honest, and white souls have had enough. And black souls don't want to evolve. They refuse to evolve. So the reason I was doing my post and I was ranting is because I'm over it. When I say I'm over it, I'm over it. And although, yeah, I get to feel the energy that I once exerted, like, even in this life, I can't even lie and say I wasn't taking people's energy. But the whiter my soul comes, the more my soul glows like the sun, the more I really can't stand black people. And I don't care what color their skin is. I don't care if you white, skinned, black, Mexican, Portuguese, Chinese, Japanese, African, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Venezuela. I don't care what your skin is. If you have a black soul, if you have a roach, because y'all be smelling like roaches when you come from the roach planet. That's why y'all smell like roaches, because your soul is a roach. If you have a ghoul, a goblin, like some dark demons I could stand because, I could just speak Samaritan and they'll be like, what? But if trolls, ghouls, goblins, gremlins, freaking roaches and monkeys and reptilians, some gray aliens, not all the gray aliens, and these scritchety aliens that look, they have the pixel ones. It's a lot of you black souls that I can't think of right now because I don't have to arrest y'all at the moment that I don't want around me. I don't want around my son. I don't want around my future kids. And luckily, my future husband isn't from a black planet. He has a shadow self that I'm going to have to, really beat up. Not really beat up, but get him to reality. Because he's like, yeah, a lot of people are scared of that aspect of him, but I'm not. That's why his girlfriends be doing what they do. That's why he don't have loyal ones, because they scared of his shadow self. That's why he's single now. Because the shadow self ain't, no, I'm like, I love you, shit, but you don't do the right stuff at times. And I already know that you're going to be spiritually trying to whoop my ass when I meet you. But I got something for you. Because I already scanned you and see what you've done to your ex-girlfriend. So I know. But anywho, I wish people saw the spiritual world the way I see it. Because if they did, they would be like, oh, there's no such thing as skin color. Like, when I tell you, when I woke up, like, If I could take my life back to when I was pregnant, 2009, January, when I conceived it, if I could take myself back to then and have all the knowledge that I have right now, my world would be a better place. My son would have never went to foster care because I would have never had no black people living with me, putting up their spiritual nets. Like, I had my so-called best friend, yes, she black, living with me and her black-ass, ghetto-ass sister. And at the time, they were putting up spiritual nets all through my house. I didn't know. They kept telling me, beat your son ass, whoop his ass, you need to beat his ass, you need to beat his ass. And I'm like, no. My son is not even 2. Why should I whoop him? He acting bad. He not acting bad because he's finding out what he wants to be in life all the time. Beat his ass, beat his ass, beat his ass. Then when they finally got out, that energy was still lingering. And the day I decided to drink, I whooped my son's ass. Why? Because that energy was in my house. Not only was the energy in my house, I was misdiagnosed by bipolar. They gave me all these different medicines, and that's what really, actually 2011 is what really started my eye to open, when they put me on all those different medicines. And I was seeing stuff, and I was like, what the hell? Oh, that's why y'all give us medicine, so y'all can find out which one is the gifted. That's why y'all questions are you hearing things? Are you seeing things? Are you feeling things? It's because y'all know of the spiritual world. Y'all trying to find out who is the golden star seeds, the children of the sun. Y'all be thinking, oh, my skin brown, I'm the children of the sun. No, your soul black. You can't be the children of the sun. You don't even act white like God, because God acts white. Not like the white people, but white like the sun. But some white people act with love. But still, I'm over it. I'm over people blaming on color, their skin, of why they go through what they go through now. Your soul is nasty, and you need to learn how to tame your soul. Because if you don't know how to tame your soul, God will tame it for you. And if you keep not taming your soul, God will snuff the life force out of you and say, next time. And I want, oh, it's because I'm black. Our lives matter. Does the souls that your soul eats matter? Does the souls that your souls are killing? Because I've watched on the bus this big fat ass ghetto black lady snacking on this Mexican's baby. Her daughter, the mama kept falling asleep, and the daughter kept falling asleep, and I'm watching, and I'm like, what the hell? Well, my girlfriend at the time, who used to spiritually whoop my ass from 2016 to 2000, that's the reason I'm crazy and don't like black people to this day. And I think black people are black souls. So when people are sitting there saying Black Lives Matter, all I think of black souls eating up everything and everyone, and turn into a black hole, soul-sucking vulture, and just sucking the starlight away from them until they turn black. And I'm like, oh, just need to kill them all. But then I had to come to reality. I'm like, no, can't kill them all. We have to consciously wake them up until they understand that's their fault. Because I'm not wasting my time. And I don't care what nobody says. I'm over it. I'm over it. My son was taken by Child Protective Services, black people. They were black. The whole state of Georgia's full of nothing but black Negroes to me. And I want to call them nigger toads, because that's what I call people that want to rip apart people's happiness, even if they was white niggers. Some white niggas, it's niggers in all shades and all hues. It's ignorant assholes that don't want nobody happy. Just like that Karen. She's a nigger. Karen is a nigger. A nigger. Karen, white-skinned, nigger-toed ass, stopping people from happiness. Yes, they get drunk and they act black because their soul is black, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, a mermaid!" It's like, "Oh my God, you're so ghetto." Yes, they are.